Do you guys ever feel like in life sometimes you don't know where it's at, but like technology or these scientists or labs create something, make something, and you're like, oh my gosh, I'm so excited to see this kind of technology put into actual use into society and see what we can actually achieve and do with said technology. Well, this has been one of those things. I've known about this for over 10 years, easy 10 years. And it was made in 2000. Well, it was discovered in 2004, but this super material is it's the most insane thing I've ever heard of. And I was being patient, like, okay, you know, um, one day we're gonna get it. It'll find its way rolled into the car making process because this stuff is going to be insane. I don't know how they're going to make it, but I mean, this is going to make carbon fiber, fiberglass obsolete, steel obsolete. It's I have very, very high hopes for this stuff. I'm super excited. So I found this video. I keep finding more and more within a year. You can Google it. The product is called graphene. Some of you may know, some of you don't, but I'm telling you, this stuff is going to be revolutionary. I've been patient. I just feel like they've made this stuff, put it on a shelf, saved it for a rainy day, and it's just never kind of left the shelf for some reason. As of late, and I would say within the past couple months, I just randomly check in and on it periodically, and I've been finding that there's more and more videos being made. So I'm hoping, man, I got everything crossed. Maybe we're actually starting to get this stuff figured out because I found a video. It's like 10 minutes long. I might play the whole thing. I might not. Let's get into it. I haven't went through the whole video. I just kind of watched a little bit and I'm like, all right, this has got a lot of cool stuff in it. So let's watch it. And then we're going to come back and I'm going to give you my thoughts about what I want to see graphene be made from or made out into. I'm sorry. And then we'll wrap this up. I'll try to make this video as short as I can. Super, super excited for this stuff. So let me bring this in, make it larger, and let's go.
The hype around graphene is hardly surprising. A man-made substance with extraordinary properties. It's incredibly versatile and conductive, and is predicted to heavily disrupt industries ranging from consumer electronics to aerospace for a while now. But even though that progress hasn't been as fast as many would have hoped, researchers and product makers are now, at last, beginning to make some headway. Before we go on to what it can do, though, let's first take a look at what graphene actually is. To put it simply, it's fundamentally a single layer of graphite, the material used to make a pencil. But instead of having a three-dimensional crystalline structure like graphite, graphene is two-dimensional, meaning it's just one atom thick with the atoms arranged in a hexagonal lattice, or honeycomb arrangement. It's a bit like chicken wire. This structure is important because it allows each carbon atom to be covalently bonded to three more around it. And the strength of these bonds is one of the main reasons why graphene is so strong and stable. Another reason is because the atoms delocalize electrons, meaning they can move around more freely. And this is what makes graphene so good at conducting electricity and heat. In fact, it's the most conductive material that we've ever come across.
Guys, this has a lower resistance and it's more conductive than gold or silver, copper, any metal on Earth. This smokes it.
You're probably thinking that the process of discovering this amazing material must have been so crazy complicated that us mere mortals couldn't possibly comprehend how it was done. But it was actually almost laughably simple. It was first isolated, or extracted, from graphite by two researchers, Andre Game and Kostya Novoselov at the University of Manchester in the UK back in 2004. How did they do it? By using sticky tape on a piece of graphite and peeling it off, folding it, and then repeating the process over and over again until they ended up with a single layer of graphene. Yep, it really is easy as that. Although graphene was known to exist as far back as the 1940s, the discovery was widely celebrated by the scientific community. Game and Novoselov were awarded the Nobel Prize for Physics in 2010, and it immediately generated huge levels of excitement about the material's possibilities and potential uses in what many people hoped wouldn't be the not-too-distant future. Expectations range from using it to replace silicon transistors in electronics in the short term, all the way to building an immense cable or tether that could be used for a space elevator made out of graphene in the future.
Now, the silicon chips is what they're focused on now. And they're saying that the leaps ahead is not that much better than what we have now as far as the whatever they're making those chips from. And the graphene is actually more expensive to produce. So that's why we haven't seen it be applied to that kind of technology, but they're going to get to it here in just a little bit.
Although, I think we can all safely say that idea is still a little ways off for the time being. So, what exactly is holding it back? Why is the market not flooded with graphene based products that we've known how to make for years? When graphene was first isolated, it was done in very tiny amounts, and one of the main issues since then has been how to scale up production of the material while ensuring the quality of graphene that you end up with is good enough for the applications that is intended for. When the process of mass producing the material is, at least for now, very complex and expensive, graphene products need to be significantly better than what's already out there for them to be considered worthwhile. If they're not as good as the material that they're trying to replace, or there's very little noticeable difference, then why even bother? For example, silicon is an excellent material for use in electronics because of its special semiconducting qualities.
Silicon,
And many experts don't see it as having many weaknesses. So if graphene is going to knock it off its perch with the added cost and hassle needed to make it, then it'll need to be a true game changer once the production methods have matured enough. This was the problem with the first products that came out, which included graphene in some form. Many of the early entrepreneurs that were first to bring things to market ended up disappointing their customers and investors with products that did technically incorporate graphene, but didn't sufficiently outperform what was already out there, despite costing considerably more. It was too soon. Not enough follow-up research had been done at that stage, and it actually put a lot of people off of graphene as a marketable material for quite a while. Fortunately, researchers have been testing a range of new approaches to mass producing graphene in recent years, and the results we're starting to see are very promising, which is just as well. Otherwise, we'd be needing a lot of sticky tape to build that space elevator. Now, one of the most popular and well-tested methods is a process called chemical vapor deposition, or CVD, where graphene is effectively grown on a metallic surface, like copper, by combining carbon-bearing gases inside a high-temperature reaction chamber. This leads to the graphene being deposited onto the metal, which then can be separated and transferred onto a substance that needs enhancing. But doing it this way requires large amounts of energy, only yields a small amount, and relies on use of harsh chemicals that can create toxic byproducts, which is why others have gone to search for cleaner, cheaper, and less power-hungry ways to make graphene.
Right.
One new approach that has caught the eye of experts in the field is called flash graphene, which has been described as a way to turn trash into treasure. This involves taking virtually any material with high carbon content, such as used rubber tires and even some mixed plastics, and converting it into graphene in an instant. The material is heated to 3000 kelvins, which is approximately 5000 degrees Fahrenheit, in just 10 milliseconds. This causes all of the carbon-to-carbon bonds to break and reconstruct as turbostratic graphene, which has misaligned layers that are easier to separate. Its creators, a team at Rice University in Houston, hope to produce a kilogram of graphene a day within 2 years. Others have been experimenting with new and emerging technologies such as 3D printing.
This is what I'm excited for. If you can actually 3D print graphene, this is going to be wild. Wild. I'm really hoping we go after this.
To see whether they could be used for graphene production. Researchers at the Massachusetts Institute of Technology successfully printed a number of 3D objects from graphene and compared the results with conventional materials. Some of the pieces came out 10 times stronger than steel at 1/20th the mass.
A 20th. 10 times stronger at a 20th. Ooh.
Scientists have also experimented with dispersing graphene in water, which would allow it to be sprayed onto a surface as a coating. A team at Umeå University in Sweden has created a thin film of highly conductive material from a dispersed graphene solution.
Okay, you see that thin film that he's holding with the rubber gloves? I've seen that impregnated into t-shirts, and they actually have like LCD screens in the t-shirt, and you can wash it. You can, just like normal. You can dry it, and it won't get destroyed. But it's crazy that you can wear like a TV on your t-shirt. It's crazy the stuff I've seen with this.
They're hopeful that this will be able to be used to create electrodes for supercapacitors, which are advanced storage solutions that can charge much quicker and degrade less than batteries, but can't yet hold as much energy. While the plentiful supply of this wonder material remains a work in progress, we're now finally starting to see the release of graphene-based products that do seem to offer significant, tangible benefits over what the competitors have been making for years with industry-standard materials. A company called Real Graphene has created a graphene-enhanced lithium battery that's thought to be on the verge of commercial use. It can cut phone charging time from an hour and a half to 20 minutes, lasts 3 to 5 times longer than conventional lithium batteries, and generates less heat. This was achieved by
Come
mixing graphene in
on.
with the lithium and introducing a composite layer of graphene. Touchscreens made with graphene are thought to be on the horizon as well.
Yep.
They can be printed on thin plastic rather than glass, which would make them light, flexible, shatterproof,
Yep.
and therefore ideal for smartphones. Graphene's high strength and heat conductive properties make it an excellent material for a variety of protective equipment too. Italian motorcycle helmet manufacturer Momo Design now offers a wide range of helmets with graphene-coated exterior shells. According to the company, the presence of graphene improves the distribution of any impact force and dissipates heat faster than conventional materials, increasing the protection from thermal degradation.
Whoa. So instantly overnight, you just made Kevlar and carbon fiber, that 2x2 twill that they make bumper covers from, obsolete. It's done.
Another Italian company, Italcementi, has proposed graphene-infused cement, which could lead to houses that don't require wiring as the building material is already highly conductive on its own.
Shut the fuck. What? So the concrete is actually can carry a current. So you don't need to have an electrician wire your house anymore. Oh my God.
Graphene's thermal properties allow for walls that easily dissipate heat, potentially eliminating the need for air conditioning units in hot countries.
That's so cool.
With demand for fresh water around the world also on the rise, graphene may have the answer to this challenge too. Physicists in China and the US have invented a graphene-based desalination membrane that can remove salt from seawater. It's a combination of a single sheet of graphene and a carbon nanotube mesh, which creates a centimeter-sized membrane. Desalination can already be done with evaporation, but this uses a lot of energy. Reverse osmosis is another method, but better membranes have been needed for years. It could even kill bacteria and help save lives. Researchers at Chalmers University of Technology in Sweden have shown how attaching vertical graphene flakes to the surface of medical implants protects them from bacterial infections. This could eliminate the need for antibiotics and lowers the chance of implant rejection, which is surprisingly common. In fact, healthcare is now one of the leading sectors for graphene applications. Its ultra-thin thickness is ideal for flexible circuits, a potential new way for monitoring people for health purposes, or possibly harnessing energy from the wearer themselves. They could be worn on the skin in the form of a smart patch, integrated in contact lenses, or at the extreme end, used to create tiny sensors that travel in the bloodstream. Although experts in the media have been saying this for more than a decade, it does feel as though we're on the cusp of a long-awaited graphene era. Research has come a long way in recent years. Mass production now looks feasible. We're seeing products launched that demonstrate the material's power, and the list of realistic applications appears to be growing by the day. The thing I think a lot of people lose sight of is that there's a pretty wide gap going from lab to mass-produced product. It will take time for some of the more ambitious proposals that we've covered here to see the light of day, if they ever do. But there are still lots of reasons to be excited about the future of this incredible material. And the key to making advancements like this is having a strong understanding of scientific principles and thinking. So if you're like me and you enjoy puzzling through how all of this comes together and why, today's sponsor.
There was a part of that where I did not see. I watched like half of it and I was like, yep, this is going to be a good one. So anyways, this stuff is going to be outstanding. I mean, if they can figure out how to impregnate this, like carbon fiber has epoxy, you know what I mean? Fiberglass has polyester resin. That's why they use a vacuum to suck that epoxy through, because all those little ropes, those little strands, you pile up those strands together to create a rope. Those ropes get woven into patterns, and that's where you get your twill, the 2x1, the 2x2, you know what I mean? So in between those gaps of those strands and those ropes is air. So you have to use a vacuum or an enclave or, whatever to actually physically extract all that air and impregnate those strands with epoxy. Now, when you go from epoxy to hardened epoxy with that's impregnated or suspended carbon fiber, that's what they call a matrix. Okay, so I'm just wondering what they're going to use for a matrix to hold this stuff together, because you saw that it was said it was two-dimensional. It's a chicken wire is the way to think of it. It's one atom thick, so you can have thousands of layers. This stuff would be super strong. Imagine. So okay, a composite car. Well, let's just stay GM because yeah, no. Anyways, the Corvette, I'll just say, it has that hydroformed aluminum frame, and there's a reason it has, and it always will have, as long as the car is made out of SMC or some kind of composite, it will have an aluminum chunk of frame roughly, and here you go, roughly the same weight or mass as the engine block. It's always going to. I don't want to get into it on this video, but I'll just say 3 words: star, earth, grounding. Do your research. That's why, as long as that car is made out of something other than this, it's always going to have that aluminum frame to it. That's why Camaro is it's freaking awesome. I just wish that they would make the Camaro body out of aluminum to begin with. That would solidify this car. That video is like, I think it was, as of today in 2025, this video is 5 years old. So who knows? We're that much closer to actually having some tangible products. So this could be revolutionary. I mean, did you see the house? The house was awesome. If you put graphene infused in the concrete, you wouldn't have to just hang a light switch anywhere. It'd be like a Bluetooth light switch, just boom. And you know what I mean? It would just automatically power the light. You would have, I mean, your whole wall would be like wiring. That is so cool, man. And it would be super, super strong. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, there's so many things that you could do with it. Every time I hear something about it, I'm learning new stuff with it. So it's just crazy, man. I mean, if you had, so take like a 6th gen car body. I mean, literally, you could probably, if you had like the skeleton of the car, maybe with the doors, you could take and put it on the wall. I'm just saying you could probably put 4 drywall anchors or drywall screws and hang a whole car body on the wall. As far as, making wiring harnesses, the whole car could be a ground for, for your entire chassis. Wiring, whatever you want to wire it up to. I mean, this thing, I don't know if it's going to have the mass or whatever, but yeah. I mean, as far as having a car body that's probably 40 or 50 pounds, you could move it, push it. I mean, yeah. There we go. So, think about this. If you could slash off that much weight off your car, literally a V8 on a skateboard. So, anyways, something to watch in the future. I'm just seeing more and more videos pop up. If you guys come across this stuff, and I leave my email in every video, I want to learn more and more about this stuff. If you see stuff, shoot it to me. We'll do a reaction video on it. I don't care. I want to make this stuff mainstream. I want to talk about it as much as I can until this stuff becomes a reality, because it's going to be insane when it gets there, when it launches, or when they figure out how to mass produce this stuff easily and affordably. So that's the video today, guys. So like it on your way out, subscribe it. I really hope to be hearing from you guys on this one, but you guys take it easy. I hope you're having an awesome day. We'll see you guys on the next one for sure. Have a good day.